Was geht ab, Leute? Mein Name ist Jinyo. Herzlich willkommen auf meinem Kanal. You're not a popular German VTuber. Cut the German. Du hast recht. Es tut mir leid. What was that? I am sorry. That's better.
Hey, in this series we travel around the world and speak about VTubers.
That was Shylily.
More direct, we speak about the most famous VTubers from each country. And
Neuro-sama.
today we go on a world tour and visit 5 countries once again. You can see them on the map. Plus I left timestamps if you're here for just one of them. So
Germany!
I'm very grateful if you watch the whole thing. My channel is quite new and
yeah, we're gonna watch the whole thing.
Okay,
don't worry.
No more yapping from me. Let's begin our journey and visit the first country.
I gotta say, white hair, red eyes is one of my favorite combinations in not just VTubing, but also anime. I just love these types of characters. Not biased or anything, because I look like that. I'm just saying, it would be my favorite thing even if I wasn't a VTuber.
Starting with Brazil. As I got from the comments section,
Brazil
VTubers are relatively new to Brazil, so I was honestly surprised when the first thing that I found was a Neobaka. Not a VTuber, but the whole agency, which is not that big with only 4 VTubers, but still, meeting a team was a nice beginning. Their biggest member is Dantewill, but their second biggest VTuber, Toshiruz, might be more famous in some way. You see, they had some interesting stories going on somewhere around a year ago. Toshiruz was number 1 in Neobaka, but his subs have slowed down greatly because 6 months ago, he started streaming on a different channel, keeping his new one for lives and the old one for videos and shorts. That's a very odd thing to happen, but it looks funny because without knowing them closer, it feels like Dante and Toshiruz are always competing with each other. Their
That's pretty good though. Like, friendly competition, not the toxic one, but friendly competition is always good, no matter which space you are in, because it motivates you, it drives you. As long as you're not starting to sabotage the other party, then it becomes super toxic, right? If you see someone on the top, you want to reach the same heights, right? And then if once you pass them, the other person wants to get back to their spot. So competition can be very, very healthy. Even in the content creator scene, there's just a very fine line between friendly competition and then very toxic one.
Their backstories only made those thoughts stronger because it is said that Toshiruz has arachnophobia. And Dante,
me too!
Sometimes Dante is a spider.
Holy shit.
To explain it, let's finally take a closer look at him.
I love how some games offer you an arachnophobia option now, so if you toggle it, you won't have to deal with anything with more than 2 legs anymore in the game.
Dante is a male VTuber with 850k followers on YouTube, and here
Holy
is
cow!
After seeing his model, he flashed me with this once I opened his channel. It made me wonder, but after hearing his voice and reading wiki, I can say yes, Dante is a male VTuber, with pretty interesting lore. He is a hybrid of a bat and spider, and when he is in his first form, he looks like this. And here is him in a spider form.
If I had to be killed by a hybrid spider / Batman, I'd rather have it be the right one, okay? At least I would have a nice view when I get killed.
You can see the difference. So everything makes sense, right? As for his content, Dante as well as other Neobaka members streams in Portuguese and has all possible kinds of content. He watches animations, plays games, makes shorts and also just makes videos on various topics. That's quite productive, but Dante is way ahead of many VTubers in one more thing. Most day VTubers have one debut, then maybe one re-debut and a few outfits. But Dante has a dozen of them. Debuts, re-debuts, outfits. For him it's just another type of content.
I mean, I would argue most VTubers would love to do this. It's just a matter of finances, right? Because even the most simple meme type model will still cost you time and money. Not trying to take away anything from Dante, but most VTubers, in quotation marks, settle for a new outfit instead of a new model or 2.0 because it's just more viable, it's just more affordable.
That's impressive. Dante appeared to be a very interesting person, but I need to say at least something about other VTubers, so if you have something to add about Dante, you can do that in the comments. Meanwhile, let's speak about Toshiruz. This time, no crazy stories about his model. It looks cool, reminds me of someone like Yuji, and seems like they really have similar vibes.
Fun fact about me, my body type was also actually inspired by Yuji.
Plus he cosplayed Sukuna for one of his Halloween events, so
that's
this
pretty
resemblance
cool.
is not a coincidence. Toshiruz has been in VTubing since 2020 and he had quite an interesting journey, starting on Twitch, then debuting a few times and joining Neobaka. By the way, if I got it right, both Toshiruz and other Neobaka VTubers are independent now, since the agency changed the concept. As for Toshiruz, like Dante, he has a very diverse content, but what's different about him is that most of his lives he spends together with other VTubers, playing some
That's
co-op
pretty
games.
cool.
And in addition to all kinds of content he already has, Toshiruz also posts videos with his bike, which really matches his personality.
Oh, I get it now. So his VTuber is wearing a motorcycle jacket. That's pretty nice. Now, knowing this detail about him, knowing the background, his entire VTuber model makes a lot more sense.
But it's such an
Really
unexpected
cool
content for a VTuber, honestly. But it's great since he is sharing his passions with people, and his audience seems to like it a lot. It's actually one of the things that makes Brazilian VTubers different, since their most famous talents are male, and with a big difference in popularity.
That's crazy!
Just looking at the subscriber count.
In most other countries, it's the opposite. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because VTubing came from this idol culture, and the viewers, the audience is mostly male. And if I had the option to watch a nice-looking waifu or a cool-looking dude, I would always prefer the nice-looking waifu. But you should watch me.
Ares, for example, has almost 300k, and she mostly makes content pretty close to Dante, with some animation.
300k is still good.
Stuff, but with her own charm. I also wanted to talk about my link here, but unfortunately she graduated. So I'll add that those VTubers were not the only members of Neobaka. There were two more generations whom I missed. The biggest of which was probably Karim. His vibes are closer to Toshiruz, and well, they even often stream together, so it makes sense. Apart from Neobaka, I'd love to mention Raze and Jessie Loom. Both have their own audience and different personalities. Raze seems to focus more on solo content, while Jessie has many collab streams, including such with Dante and Ares. We need to keep going because I have a flight to the next country soon, but before that I can't avoid mentioning two more VTubers. The first one is smaller, but I love Kinoko's design, model, and overall the fairy vibe of her channel.
Her design looks very cute.
Cozy. Next we have Nanoless. She's not very active in streaming lately, but her model design
Nanoless is Brazilian? I did not know that.
And is one of my favorites of all time. And it's not a big
she's
surprise,
the GOAT.
She's a very famous model designer. She was behind some designs for Miracle IP and Iron Mouse, so at least in some way you've seen the works of her creation. If you
definitely.
About the worldwide popularity, you can consider Nanoless to be the most famous VTuber from Brazil. Now,
if you get a character designed by Nanoless, it's almost like asking From Software to design a boss for your game. That's how famous she is in the VTuber community.
Let's move to the next country. Germany was supposed to represent Europe in today's video, but before we go there,
Ball of Water
in UK, since some people
Neuro-sama, hell yeah!
From this country. The first thing I'd like to say here is that Swarm title really matches you guys.
The Swarm is everywhere. Nobody can escape him.
So now let's speak about the Neuro-sama. She is definitely the most famous VTuber from UK and as well one of the most VTubers in general. For those who don't know, Neuro-sama is a creation of Vidal. We'll speak about him later, but what I mean here is that she is not a human, but a software-based VTuber. I don't want to call her an AI VTuber because it may sound pretty bad. And
also, it doesn't serve her justice because there are AI streamers on Twitch. And they suck balls. First of all, you can immediately tell it's AI because they only react to inputs. The chat is asking a question, the streamer is answering. The streamer is not talking by itself or interacting. It's just basically prompt-based, you could say. And she's worlds ahead of those.
honestly, sometimes in past I even had doubts if she's an AI at all. Her interactions with other streamers are really funny. It doesn't really feel like something made by AI because the quality here and the whole level of entertainment is on a very high level. Neuro-sama is definitely a phenomenon that so far nobody managed to replicate. I'll talk about it someday since I want to do a better research and make a separate video about her. But
shameless plug, I have an entire Neuro-sama playlist on my channel. Just saying, if you want to find out a little bit more. I recently fell into the rabbit hole myself, so you can learn alongside me, basically.
I believe that a big part of her success is Vidal, not just for the reason of creating her, but also because he's
and the Swarm
in some way, and I saw many memes and funny moments with him as well. And it's great because rather than being just the creator, he's a part of the community. I honestly love his personality, how he dodges Neuro's freaky answers, as well as some other VTubers being freaky around him, and the fact that he's a turtle also funny in some way. By the way, tell me who that evil person is who did that. Why on every website Vidal has a femboy listed as one of his nicknames?
Good question.
Neuro, the alter ego of Neuro-sama, who is a significant part of the Vidal's channel. Sometimes she creates covers or streams together with Neuro-sama. As far as I know, both Vidal and fans really enjoy her covers. And overall, Vidal is trying to bring something new all the time.
It's the package that makes them stand out and truly unique compared to other AI streamers. They can sing, they can do IRL streams, they can game, their interactions with their community, with the Swarm, their interactions they have with their creator, their father basically, which is Vadal. It almost feels like there's nothing they can't do, and usually AIs are kind of limited on what they can do, or they're very hyper specific in a task, right? And streaming is such a versatile environment that I've never thought that we would see something like Neuro-sama anytime soon. But here we are.
And it pays off, since right now Vito's channel has 857
Wowzers!
Twitch, and it's only growing. In addition to that, Neuro and Vito were nominated and received numerous awards at the VTuber Awards show, and managed to set some high scores on Twitch when it comes to hype train. So, while Neuro-sama is definitely the most unique
Where's
VTuber,
this from?
other British VTubers are also special in their own ways. So, let's talk about them. First, I want to speak about Rin Penrose. I really love the design.
I've seen clips of Rin Penrose
so well. They are a self-proclaimed prince and honestly deserve it, since they have 871k on YouTube.
Wow.
It's a very good number, but I'm honestly not that sure how widely Rin is known, since the main views on their channel come from shorts, or at least they were, since now Rin is focused on streaming. I've checked a few lives and I really enjoyed them. A cozy, funny, chill and silly experience. The description of the channel really matches the vibe.
One day I will rule the world. Until then, I'm silly on the internet. That perfectly fits what she's wearing, to be honest. It's like serious but also playful at the same time.
And since we just discussed the prince, let's
It's
speak about
Erza!
We are talking about Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, with a very serious
What a
personality
name.
and a name hard to remember, right? Liz is the leader of Hololive Justice, and probably the
Hololive
only one more
Justice.
serious and rational member of this generation. Well, at least it's a very general view.
Bro, I'm in love with her design. That looks so good. Before anyone destroys me in the comment section, I do not know a lot of Hololive members. I watch Takanashi Kiara sometimes, but the VTubers who got me into VTubing were all indie VTubers, so I did not get into the normal pipeline through agencies, I would say. But man, am I in love with her design.
On her personality, because once I opened her channel and I was watching this, a very unexpected
What is
activity for a
this?
leader, I'd say, but at least it's not something like Laplus did. Liz has been in Hololive for more than a year and already has some good results. She gained 572k on YouTube
In a year.
It's the biggest
That's
injustice.
crazy.
Aurora is really close to her, but even though Liz doesn't stream that much, she always manages to be just a little bit ahead of Aurora. This year was also enough for Liz to find a wife in the face of Marissa Ravencroft, so it probably explains why
What are we
she's not
looking
active
at?
when it comes to streaming. But that's okay, we don't judge her, especially since she is famous for her voice. It's such a pleasure to listen to her on streams, and I bet people really enjoy her performances at concerts. Now let's step aside from royalties and take a look at other sides of UK VTubers. Starting with Fallen Shadow, or rather Shondo, a shy Yandere girl who lives alone in a forest cabin. Maybe at some point it was
Why
like
would
that,
you have a
since
background
she has
story
many
like
ASMR
that?
videos on her YouTube, but I guess something had changed. She can be
Scary.
cute. Probably she still has this side of her, but that's not quite what she is famous for. What I love about Shondo is that she is a VTuber with personality. She can joke in a very dangerous ways, watches some crazy stuff, but at the same time you can see a real person behind it, not just an online entertainer. She shares her thoughts on some topics, can answer the questions in the honest and engaged way, and overall I assume it's quite fun to be a part of her community. And as always, at the end, a VTuber of my choice. Laymu, a very cozy ferret VTuber.
Laymu.
And while I say she is cozy, I don't mean it, you know, calm and
That is a really cool color pattern. Holy shit. Like the mint green or lime green, and then you also have a little bit of like rosé and pink, a little bit of beige or light green. That is very soothing. There are no aggressive colors in her design.
peaceful way, because she's full of energy and
Yeah,
can be
peaceful
different
is probably
moods
a
and
good
so on,
word.
but that's just my favorite type of VTuber,
She has a cat tree in the background. That is awesome.
who uses her character to be herself and enjoys the things she loves.
Sonic
Just for her
Adventures.
debut on YouTube, you'll find the video where she plays interactive Sonic with her viewers. So her streams are definitely fun and creative, and I checked her Twitch a few days ago. She was half asleep, talking, with dubstep playing at the background. A nice combination, a nice experience, and I also really love the design of her model.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll speak about her in one of the future
Deutschland,
videos. And for
let's
now,
go.
let's continue
Representation.
to the next country with some amazing and quite
Shylily
special VTubers.
and
I have a really hard
Einelotta.
time choosing whom to start with. If we speak about the international popularity, the choice is obvious. But let's try something different this time. And first, discuss the most famous local VTuber. Jinja is one of the first
Jinja?
speaking VTubers with 276k
Do you think she's called Jinja because she's a ginger IRL?
on her YouTube. It might not sound that impressive, but take into account
What?
that she's only using German on her channel.
Dude, okay, first and foremost, it's crazy that she got 270k as a German channel because the German VTuber bubble, while it is growing, it is still not as big. But I want to emphasize 270k, no matter which language and no matter which country you're from, that is huge. Only 10% of channels ever make it to 1000 subs. Most people quit before hitting that. I know what he was trying to say, so this is not a jab to the creator, right? He was trying to say that VTubing is a niche, so if you're a German VTuber doing German content, that's like a niche within a niche. And pulling those numbers, even though you are in a niche within a niche, that is impressive. That is what he was trying to say. But I just want to emphasize that 300k subscribers is already the upper echelon of YouTube. Because, as I said, the majority of people quit before even hitting 1,000 subscribers.
So she is very popular and has a consistent and dedicated audience. Plus, if you go to the conventions or other events in Germany, you can easily find many arts with her character. A very random example,
Very cool.
But I find it cool and interesting. Jinja became a VTuber almost 6 years ago, but far before that she was making musical covers, with her first musical cover being posted almost 10 years ago. She has dozens of them, both on her main channel and a separate.
Talk about consistency and persistence. You gotta have a strong belief in yourself to be able to be doing that for 10 plus years. Very inspiring.
Where you can find some of her older works. Her covers are really popular, and they are one of the reasons why you may know her even if you don't speak German. As for her other activities, she posts shorts and other videos on YouTube, but mainly she streams on Twitch. And while her main category is just chatting, she constantly plays games on streams, all kind of them, and watching her was a very pleasant experience. I could say many more good things here, but Wiki says it might be dangerous. At the end, I let the Jinja also made her influence on the whole popularization of VTubers in Germany, both being an inspiration for others and even making some tutorials that could be helpful to some people.
I think it's very important to have people like Jinja in every type of subculture, because she will eventually become the standard, like the golden standard of like German VTubers. And then as a whole, the German VTuber scene will grow. Obviously, there are more popular German streamers like Shylily, right? But Shylily streams in English mostly, just like I do. So having Jinja as like an example for other German VTubers to show them, hey, you don't necessarily have to make English content, right? That is very important for this entire VTuber scene, but especially or more so for the German VTuber scene.
And if you were ever thinking of studying German, here is an inspiration.
Don't!
So you could learn the language and watch her streams.
I'm joking.
Now, let's move to the next VTuber. You already know that it's gonna be Shylily.
Yeah.
A very famous orca
Not a
VTuber
surprise.
with 1.5 million followers on Twitch.
Bro, I love her model so much. And no, it's not because of what you are currently thinking about, okay? Although I gotta admit, it does not really hurt either. No, in all seriousness, I really think Shylily has one of the most thought out VTuber concepts out there. Her entire design makes so much sense and is so clean. Her being an orc-cat hybrid, right, which is perfectly reflected in her design, the color patterns, the uniforms or the outfits that she is wearing, the markings on her body, which are all related to her lore, the little orca mascot she has, the shrimps representing her community, and on top of that, she has the talent and also the personality to be Shylily, if that makes sense. And I don't care if people think I'm simping too hard for Shylily, but you just gotta recognize her hustle and her game. Also, fun fact, me and Shylily have the same rigging mama. Not that it matters, and I did not say all of these nice things because of that fact, but I'm just saying, we're carved from the same stone, or cut from the same stone, whatever the phrase is.
And she probably made one of the most famous and recognizable sounds produced by VTubers.
Womp womp. Yeah. Funny story, the first time I encountered a Shylily clip, I saw so many comments saying womp womp, and I thought they were insulting her, as in womp womp womp, like a fail, right? And only later I found out it was basically her catchphrase.
Yes, I guess I just confessed how I discovered Shylily myself, but there are many other reasons.
A lot of people
you
did.
You know the most famous one, and you've seen all of those clips or just the main videos on her YouTube channel, even if you don't watch her regularly. This side of her goes far beyond her main audience, but I believe it's not the only reason why people watch her. She can be funny, which is obvious. She also invests a lot
She's very
of time in
talented.
streaming, and her lives are very diverse. She can just talk, watch some videos and play games, and all within one 5-6 hour stream. She goes live almost daily, so no matter what you love about her, you can get a new dose of content every day. And let's be honest, her model design and all the variations of it are very beautiful.
That's what I meant with her design is just very, let me just say complete. Maybe complete is perfectly describing what I'm thinking. It's a complete package.
I don't even mean the most obvious part, I'm just speaking about her design here. Her model is very expressive, as well as Shylily herself, and you can see this level of quality everywhere. Just take a look at the animations on her main channel. She also got the best Just Chatting VTuber award back in 2023, so I guess people really love listening to her saying womp womp. Or, you know, maybe you have some other reasons. At the end,
her 3.0 design is also very good.
But actually she is half cat, so
yeah.
it appears that we have at least 2 VTubers
That's Cecilia
with tails and cat ears. Up next we have one of my favorite VTubers of all time, Cecilia Immergreen.
Yeah,
Apparently
she's
an
cool.
automaton, but for some reason she has...
As I said, the only Hololive member I watched so far is Kiara, but obviously when she does collabs, I get to see other types of Hololive members as well, but Kiara is pretty much the only one I know. But she's also Austrian, right? That's why she's probably not mentioned here in this list. She's not German, she's Austrian. And a lot of people, because of a certain historical figure, mix those two countries up, but Austrians and Germans are not the same people, okay?
A very German vibe about her, especially when she spends time with Kiara, so I just feel like including her in this part of the video. There are many reasons why I love her, and I shared many of them in my previous video, but the fact that she is green is already enough. I just love green VTubers. She has 457k on her YouTube,
wow.
And as for her content, Cecilia is a very creative
cool.
VTuber, so you can find many interesting things on her channel. Mainly she is a gamer, especially when it comes to Souls-likes, but she also has many just chatting streams, sometimes alone,
It's
sometimes
a very cute outfit.
GG, and the same goes for karaoke.
Look at this background, holy shit. I know why she's called Immergreen now. It almost looks like it's out of an anime.
Streams. It might be hard to describe
Wow.
them, but she always have a very creative approach, and you never know what to expect, so they always feel very fun to watch. Overall, Cecilia is a very cozy, chill, and of course a bit freaky VTuber with one of the best and supportive
Who isn't?
communities, at least when it comes to Cecilia. There are many more VTubers from Germany, and although I can't speak about all of them, I still want to cover at least two more. First of all, it's Einelotta.
It's Einelotta, actually, for those who want to learn German, and she might have the most expressive model after Shylily. Her model is so clean, and it almost looks 3D in some regards. And she also has the same type of expressions that Fillion has. I don't know if you ever watched the Fillion stream, but when Fillion laughs, her eyes become these. And she has the same type of expressions, which is really, really cool. Also, she's a very famous voice actor, so if you watch your animes with a German dub, there's a chance that you might have already heard her voice.
I've seen her on TikTok, Shorts, or just some of her videos on YouTube. She mainly has content in English, but often uses German for memes and other things. I'm not sure, but I guess for
she
those
streams
reasons,
in both.
She's more famous in Europe. But although she streams in English, she is more famous in Germany, and it goes beyond her VTubing career. She is a professional voice actress in Germany.
Yeah.
You can hear her voice in many anime series, of course if you watch them in German language. So I really recommend you to take a look at her channel or watch her streams on Twitch. And before we move to the next country, one last recommendation will be Yoclash. She is a red Oni girl and artist.
Yoclash is German too? I did not know that.
And also a singer, all of which you
The
can
more
find
you
on
know.
YouTube. As for her streams, she has a Twitch where she plays all kinds of games, and all of them get some decent views, no matter what she does, so her audience really enjoys them. I also love her model, and a fun fact here would be that her new design was created by Nanoless, whom I already mentioned in Brazil. For our next stop, we need to travel for a long distance, but it should be
New
interesting since
Zealand?
in New Zealand, something spooky is going on with VTubers. Here, we'll meet two VTubers, and both of them have something in common. The biggest and most popular one is Layna Lazar, and
I've watched a interview that she did with Queso the other day. I did not know anything about her before, but I think it's because I watched a lot of Neuro-sama content recently that I get all of these Neuro-sama adjacent VTubers recommended, or the VTubers who interacted with Neuro-sama before.
so far, and maybe even for the whole series, it's the first country with the biggest talent being a horror VTuber. You may think that she just has such a model, and that's all. But not really. Here is her streaming schedule. 3 times
She also
horror
does
stream,
cooking
1 time
streams.
cooking. May sound like
Yeah.
good rest time after all those horrors, but
Yeah,
I
that's
really
Neuro-sama,
think
see?
the stream may be scary. Jokes aside though, her cooking streams are really nice, and she often invites someone for collabs to make cooking time.
I don't know if you noticed, but in the last few months, a lot more VTubers have messed around with IRL content. Now, I don't know if it's gonna become like a meta or if it's already a meta, but I think it's just very interesting.
Even more interesting, she is mainly active on Twitch, where she has 241k followers. You can
Pretty
find
good.
all of her streams there, but also on her YouTube channel or other YouTube channels, you can find every other type of content. She made some changes very recently, like a few weeks ago, and now she posts her content on separate channels. One for horror games and another one for cooking. And before
That's
you
smart.
can decide what you prefer, let me tell you more about her. First of all, apart from streaming and cooking, Layla is a talented 3D artist. This way she started her online activity, and she created her first 3D model herself.
Oh.
Nowadays she streams with her 2D model, which
That's very convenient.
She has really nice animations and matches the games on her streams. I don't think it will scare many people, but horror games are not the only creepy scenes that you can meet on her streams. Her model has a true 4 mod in which it gets a bit bloody.
Wow.
Nice touch and a creative decision. It's actually
That's
a
pretty
case
cool
of horror-themed VTuber where everything revolves around this topic. So I guess we'll speak about her once again in a few weeks, since I'm thinking of making a spooky VTuber special for Halloween. So don't hesitate to recommend VTubers that match this topic in the comments. But for now, we are still in New Zealand, so let's get to know one more VTuber. Necronival, or just Crony, is a male zombie VTuber.
That's the cutest zombie I've ever seen.
And here I have a question for everyone who knows about New Zealand more than me. How did you end up with 2 VTubers being... I can't say that Crony is creepy, although he is a zombie. His model is more on a cute side, but still, a zombie and a horror VTuber, it should be just a coincidence.
Might be tied to like New Zealand folklore or something like that. But it really makes you think why the 2 most popular VTubers are horror based.
But I don't know, maybe there is some reason for it.
I think there's a
He
reason for
debuted
it.
last year, and right now he has 124k on his YouTube, where he has
124k in
videos
1
and
year is
shorts mainly.
insane.
He streams on YouTube as well, sometimes, but if you want to watch him live, it's better to check his Twitch. He is more active there. Crony is a gaming streamer and quite often collabs with other VTubers. Here are some more of his interests, so you could get to know him better. And by the way, he can speak Indonesian as well. And for us, now is the time to move to the next country. We've already traveled almost around the whole world, so let's find a place
Philippines!
to rest and move to the Philippines. There are many things you can do here with beautiful seasides, forests, and you can even go hiking. Just be careful not to meet some wild creatures.
It's
No
Demi.
plan for rest though, since the Philippines is very rich for VTubers. We will start with the most famous and one of my favorite VTubers from this country, and as you already saw, it is Demenishiki. She has 372k on her YouTube
Wow.
and pretty same numbers on Twitch.
That's
and
pretty
her main
good.
focus is on 2 types of content, gaming and professional TikTok scrolling. You can find a lot of highlights of this activity on her YouTube channel,
The balls
and she
toggle.
also posts quite many shorts. But I honestly think that the reason why she is popular is not her content but rather her personality. You can see her in many different moods, and
I mean, in most cases, the personality is what makes the VTuber very popular. It's not so much the content, unless they're like super pro in a single game. You can have the best looking VTuber, but if you do not have the personality, then people will just move on from you very fast, I would say.
she can be in more or less peaceful mode, but mostly she's very hyperactive, especially when she streams with someone. And both the design of her model and the technical side
video.
of it really suits her personality. I like the idea itself, but the fact that it's a very expressive model and Demo makes videos with reactions, let's call it this way, it just works so nicely together. It might not be the content for everyone since TikTok can be quite brain damaging, but
True.
if you watch it on Demo's stream, you may just get a boost of good mood or receive a double damage to your brain. It's a bit of a gamble. I wonder how many comments I'll get from people asking where Philian is, but no, she is not here. However, I can give you a hint where to look for her. Now let's
Wait, is Philian also Filipina? I didn't know that.
move to the next VTuber. Kiichan, a Cosmic Fox VTuber with a very bright and colorful model, which
Kiichan?
matches her personality. She has almost 400k on her YouTube,
That's a
and
lot.
apart from streaming, she is famous for her musical covers.
It's crazy to me that there's so many big VTubers with 400k, 300k subscribers that I've never heard of. Shows you how big the VTuber bubble is, really.
She mainly speaks English and Filipino, but she studied many other languages, so quite often you can hear them in her covers.
Cool.
Kiichan produced some original songs as well, and had a song collab with Kobo not so long ago. On her regular streams she also often plays with other VTubers, and recently played together with Holostars, including Jurard. And yes, as far as I can tell, Jurard T. Rexford is also from Philippines.
Jurard T.
And that means that we
Rexford.
already have Deme with Cat
T-Rex!
Space Fox, and a dinosaur, the last one of his kind from Philippines. His designs, personality and content really match his nickname, and I'm honestly surprised that he is less famous than I expected, but I guess it's a topic for a separate video about Holostars in general. Jurard has 164k on his YouTube.
Oh, Holostars was like Hololive's male agency, right? Did they stop doing Holostars, or why did he say he's like the last of his kind? Which would be very ironic because he's a dinosaur and they went extinct, so if he's the last Holostar member, that would be crazy. The last of his kind.
And in addition to content that you already expect to see on his channel, he has some interesting twists. I will leave some of them for you to explore.
Oh no,
And
the meteorite.
art streams. I didn't, but he got them, and I must say that I just love his face when he's painting. Just look at it. And I can't avoid mentioning that he has impressive voice acting skills, so it can be both fun and pleasant to watch his streams.
I feel like most VTubers have a super nice voice acting voice. I'm not one of them. But I know so many VTubers who also work in the voice acting industry and voice act for animes and whatnot.
Finally, 2 VTubers of my choice. Pen, a Filipino-bred VTuber with 111k on her YouTube. Filipino VTubers
People
so far
are so
really impressed me
creative,
with how
man.
friendly their community
Pen.
is. Because all of you VTubers collab with each other even though they stream in English. Pen had a few collabs with Kiichan, one of which was IRL cooking stream, and the second was a cooking stream as well, kind of. All those interactions are giving me some inspiration to make a separate video about Filipino VTubers in the future. But let's get back to Pen. Her design is charming and cute, and I love the braid hairpins. The whole concept of a braid VTuber and the cozy vibe of her channel. And yes,
Me
her
too.
musical covers are also very beautiful. The last one for today is Yuvu, a vampire octopus VTuber. Somehow, I'm no longer surprised by those combinations. Secret VTubers are all special.
True.
And in
There's probably a crocodile T-Rex out there somewhere.
Philippines, things are going even more wild. She has 87k on her YouTube and the same number on
Wow.
Twitch. Yuvu made some ASMR videos, musical covers, and also made some changes and new outfits for her model. As for today, she mainly streams on Twitch with gaming and just chatting content where she can be live for a really long time, up to 10 hours. Today, we
Wow.
found many very unique VTubers, and I really love seeing some small and not so differences in all of those countries. It helps to learn something new or just interesting, so we will continue our journey in a few weeks. I will read all of your comments and choose the next destination, and till that time you can watch other videos on the channel or watch the part 1 if you missed it. Thank you for watching and see you!
This was a very enjoyable showcase, especially for someone like myself who doesn't get to watch a lot of VTubers. So seeing VTubers not just from my own country, but from all corners of the world was very refreshing, very entertaining. Also, I want to say that this video did not seem like it was made by a new creator. It was very high quality, subtitles throughout the entire video, nice clip selection, good script. Also, the music that you underlined the entire video with did not go unnoticed. Very, very high quality video. Obviously, we're gonna give this video a thumbs up. I'm gonna leave all the links in the description below. This video also showed me, or taught me, I should say, that I definitely need to step up my game with Jinyo 2.0. I already have all the plans aligned, but seeing so many kind of models and their backgrounds back to back basically opened my eyes. Please show Moomy Geekboy some love. I'm gonna leave all the links in the description below. I really hope you enjoyed my reaction to this. Let me know if your country was represented in this video, and we're gonna see each other in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen and goodbye, Jinyo Force.